Welcome to the Deviant Witchery show. This week's topic is going to be a mishmash because we couldn't really, I don't want to say we couldn't agree, but we have a lot of things in our mind this week, so it's just going to be whatever comes out. We are still doing our 500 subscriber contest, so if you're watching, subscribe so we can get 500 subscribers, and we're going to be giving away a poppet from Mrs. Audley's Curious Creations or Craftings from Mrs. Audley. They're actually really, really great poppets. I have one of mine right here, and you're going to be getting one, I believe, that is custom made. You have to subscribe to us, and you have to interact with us as well. It doesn't have to be live, but comments as you watch videos and stuff like that. Also, Michael and I are doing a video next week about the book. When we did the book launch, we said we were going to do like a follow-up video so people could ask us any questions after reading the book. So we are going to be doing that next week, same day, same time. So yeah,
same channel.
I already created the event for that on Google and on Facebook. So you can find me if you can't find it, and I'll point you in the right direction. And I'm done.
And you're done. Oh, okay. So I guess the first thing that we should have fun with is our dear client segments. And I know that Miss Scarlett is so excited to discuss such a topic.
Yes, yes I am.
And okay, so I don't want people to get all pissy. I don't want people to get, you're going to get offended regardless. I don't really fucking care. If you can't handle it, you can't handle it. We're doing this for the right reasons, and fuck off if you, I don't care. But when you work as a professional witch, when you work as a professional reader, whatever, you get asked a lot of questions. People say that there's no such thing as a stupid question, but that's a bunch of bullshit because there are a lot of stupid questions. A lot. So what we're going to discuss here is some of the questions that, should be avoided because you should be doing your own research. And if you actually listen to the person that you're consulting with, you wouldn't have to ask these questions, or really just pay attention. So, with that being said, Scarlett, why don't you take over? And what are some of the things, the first thing that pops in your head, that really is challenging and frustrating for you when someone comes to you and they're asking you just, outrageous things?
Oh my god, there's so many.
Well, we have time.
Gosh, Well, I guess the one that gets me the most, that just irks me to no end, is when someone, especially the students, I have students, I have students who are current students now, and I have past students. So I have had students who, and you guys might not understand this because you're not a student, you're not one of my students, and so you're not familiar with the way that I do my teachings, but when I give them a lesson, let's say on deities, I teach deities just for the simple fact so they can be familiarized with the different deities of each different path. It's not a list for them just to pick and choose, and that's what they think it is. They contact me, and this is even people, just fans of the page, or just even people who aren't fans of the page, and even my students. Well, what deity do you think I should work with? What deity do you think I should pick? I'm sorry, but you don't pick your deity. Your deity picks you. Oh, well, I don't think think that's right. I think that I need to pick my deity. Well, you go ahead and go and pick the Morgan and let me know how that works out for you.
Mhm.
Or Hecate, because that is not how it works. I mean, you can pick a deity as far as studying more about that person and their story, their life, what they like, what they dislike, kind of offerings, and put yourself out there and let them know that you're interested, but you do not pick the deity. So that gets on my nerves, like, more than ever.
Yeah.
I've had a person ask me along the same lines of with deities. She said, I want to do some love work. Do you think the Morgan is the best deity to choose?
Yeah.
No. No, not at all. I mean, if you want to make your love work not work, or like
Maybe if they're like into
work
feeding.
against the person that you're aiming for, or then yes, but she is not a goddess of love. Oh, well, I think you're wrong. Well, then, you know what? If you fucking think I'm wrong, then why are you coming? So, I mean, that is what gets on my nerves, I guess, is when I give you information, take that information. If you don't think I'm right, then Google it. But don't tell me that I'm wrong when I've been doing this since I was a child. So, but no, you do not pick your deities. Your deities pick you. And so when I teach deities, it's not a list of me giving you a people for you to choose. It's so you can learn more about different deities or different paths. It's so, for you to learn more. But you
Right.
definitely do not pick your own deities. They pick you. They choose you.
And they let you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Big time.
Yes. That's just one of many questions I get that drive me crazy.
I know it's. I get asked a lot, like I get asked a lot of shit, but I have people who come to me and which I think almost every practitioner has people come to them stating this, like, okay, so and so, I really feel like I have a curse on me because this happened and that happened, and I was told I had a curse by this witch of the Father, of the Mother, of the Holy Spirit, blah blah blah, twice removed. They had someone like who claimed to be this high priestess, blah blah, tell them that they had a curse on them, and I'm like, okay. Well, I don't like, I can remove them, I can work with them, but I don't like working with people who feel that they are. Um, my nieces just got here, of course. Uh, so, um,
Why don't you go handle that?
okay, someone else can take over that. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm not sure what he was going with that one, but I do know that when Nimbus and I covered curses on what was it, on Witches of the Moon, we talked a lot about that. People that think that they're cursed that are not. And they don't really know how to. They think like a string of bad luck is a curse. And it really isn't. And they insist that they're being cursed, or they're in this really negative mindset. And they're like, oh, I'm cursed. And it's like, no, you're cursing yourself. If you're not actually cursed and you think that you're cursed, you're just cursing yourself, basically. I don't think that's where he was going with that one.
Well, anyway.
Okay, continue on.
Okay, so what I was saying about curses is, like, people come to me and they're really dead set that they're cursed, and I'm like, okay, I go through the motions. I don't like dealing with curses because when people are like so hardcore, like they believe they're cursed, no matter what you do, they still think they're cursed. I've seen it so much, and they're not. So I'm like, okay, I'll read for you. I'll see what we can do. And like, honestly, 9 times out of 10, they're not cursed. And I know we said this before. I'm like, they're not. I'm like, you're creating that for yourself. And I'll tell them, I'm like, no, this is what we need to do. This is a course of action. They're like, I'm cursed. I'm like, you don't. They're like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you verified a lot of things for me, but you're really wrong about this curse because I'm cursed. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you believe that you are. You're creating this for yourself. I mean, what? Do you want to remove the curse or not? Yes. Okay. You're not cursed. Stop giving power to it. Because you're not. You're creating that for yourself. There are people out in this world that are legitimately cursed. You're not one of them. So stop playing that role.
Yeah, there's another thing is some people think that removing curses is this big, long, drawn out, huge, crazy ritual, and I'm sure that there's some that do require that. But I think for the most part, if you have, I think curses are usually thrown by people that are not experienced, is my personal opinion. People that are trying to bring others down and that's the way that they go about it. Those curses are easily broken.
Oh.
So I think that people think that there's this huge drawn-out thing. They can't do it themselves. They have to hire somebody, cost them hundreds of dollars, and that's the only way to remove it.
I have to. Okay. I kind of feel bad for saying this, but I don't at the same time. I had someone come to me who wanted me to curse and make all, was it like dollar stores or 99-cent stores, all of them to be closed down. Like
in this specific area, and there was addresses.
Yeah, I got all the address. Like, this person did really good work, like thorough work, knew the addresses, knew everything about it. But because, and I'm like, is this a joke? Is someone really fucking with me? Like, I don't know if this is serious.
That shit off onto me.
Yeah, me too.
No, but this person really did. Like, they're like, it's just so tempting, because they have this certain product, and I want to go there and buy them all. I'm like, it's 99 cents. Like, how many can they have? And what is it? Why do you want to make all these stores close down when all you have to do is go, just don't buy it?
Or you don't have any self-control.
Yeah, work on your self-control, work on your addiction to the 99-cent store place, but what?
Oh, wait a second. They had a problem with buying a product that this dollar store, 99-cent store had. They wanted you to close them down.
Yeah,
so
they would 5 stores.
Yeah, they had a compulsion. Like, they had to go to all these stores and buy all of it.
Yeah, there was there was a product that these stores carried, and she didn't want them. And so not only did she want Michael to close all these locations down, but she wanted him to ensure that the employees of these stores had a job of the next, I guess, whatever store it would be. So shut down the 99-cent store, make it a different kind of store, but ensure those employees would be guaranteed a job at the new store. All because
she was buying things that she didn't want to buy anymore.
Yes.
For 99 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Stop going to the store.
Exactly.
I don't know this person doing.
I don't remember. I never knew who. Oh no, this was the same person that wanted us to curse the terrorists.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And so when you're like I said, when you're doing this, there's all kinds of questions that you get asked. But that, to me, that was one of like the rarest. I'm like, is this? I really thought that this person was like fucking with me. I'm like, it's a 99 cents. Like, why are you going all over the place to every 99-cent store and buying these items?
This person never told you what they were?
No, maybe I don't know. I don't think so.
You never told me, or I remember something silly like that. No.
Yeah, that was I almost feel like you should have like this questionnaire before anyone even consults with you. Like, fill all this stuff out and have someone to screen it, and then it's like if you're,
Yeah.
then you can come to me.
Okay, so I have a story. I have a tarot story. So for a long time, for about a year, it was my thing. I was doing free readings every new moon. Now, for a year on YouTube. Now, first, I want to say that when you're starting out, if you do want to do free readings, always set a limit. In the beginning, I was doing just however many, and it was like I don't know. I was doing like 7 or 10, like in a week, and it was too much for me with my schedule. So, and they were free, and so I was doing. I limited it down to 3 readings. So I did this. So if you're gonna do that, make sure you have boundaries. Especially even if you're just learning, make sure you have boundaries with free readings because people will scap them up. But anyway. This woman had asked a love question, and she was on the other side of the continent. I believe she was in India somewhere. She was over that way. I don't remember exactly. Definitely different country. And the language barrier, there wasn't actually much of it, to be totally honest. So I did this reading about this love reading, and I don't remember which deck I used. But she'd asked me if I had I believe it's Doreen Virtue, the Love Angels.
Oh,
I believe
yeah.
that's one of hers. So she's like, oh, if you have that deck, I want you to use that deck. I said, well, I don't have it, but maybe it's good for me to put into, or the Romance Angels. Maybe it's good for me to put into my my fucking collection. So so I did the reading. I think I was doing oracle readings. I did the reading, and it basically said, no, this relationship is just not going to work out. And in the meantime, I had actually ordered the Romance Angels, and when I got them, she's like, oh, I want you to do it again. So I did it again, and the Romance Angels said no. So even though you use a different deck, you're still going to get the answer that you're supposed to get. It's not going to change your answer. A lot of people think that if you use like a darker tarot deck, like Deviant Moon deck or the Ludi Lescott deck, compared to I don't have any like super light decks, so I can't really compare them. But you're gonna get the same answer. It's gonna be the same thing's going to happen if you're doing fortune telling. The same thing's going to happen. The same situation's going to come up no matter what deck that you use.
Right, and the only difference really with the decks is like, okay, let's say you have the Deviant Moon, it's going to say, oh, you're a dumbass. Whereas, like, maybe the Angel Therapy or some lighter, deck, it's like, oh, honey, you're really a dumbass. It's just it's the same thing. It's like it all depends on what deck you use. It'll be the same information, but how it is expressed.
Right. I think it's dealing with different kinds of tarot decks is like dealing with different kinds of people. You have somebody that maybe would sugarcoat things or kind of like, look around it, be like, well, maybe this and maybe that, and then you have people that are more blunt and to the point and are going to tell you no matter what. That's how I see them anyway. But
one.
Yeah. But that's how I see it. I mean, I prefer to use the blunt decks because I want to know what's going to happen. Even if it doesn't make me happy, I want to know what's going to happen.
And it just I think it cuts through the bullshit really fast. Some of the other decks, like, they'll give you the answer, but you have to kind of weed through all this nice, like, trying to sugarcoat it. You have to read through all that, and, like, I don't like that. I don't have time for that.
No. I don't like interpreting too much. I like to get to the quick of it.
And I think it's important for clients to understand, especially when it comes to divination. And I don't have. I live my clientele through you three because I don't take on clients yet. Not because I won't, just because it just hasn't happened. But
well,
I think it's important to trust. If you're going to go to someone and you want them to perform a service for you, be it divination, spell work, whatever, it's important to trust who you're dealing with.
Right.
Like in your case, she didn't get the answer that she wanted with the first deck, So she wanted to see if the second would give it, just because she didn't trust what you were saying that the first did. It's not, you were giving her an answer that she did not want, and therefore she wanted you to do it again. And sorry, you don't get the answer you want. It's not the witch's problem. That's
Right.
It's not the cards. It's the, you need to listen to it. Don't open yourself up to information and just ignore it. And that same way goes for spell work. Don't, if you think you know better, don't fucking ask for spell work. Sorry.
Right.
Don't go to Scarlet and want to, learn from her and have her take you on as a student if you think you know better. Don't do it. It's a waste of her time. It's a waste of your time. Just don't do it.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with asking questions and, speaking up, but that's different than being disrespectful and just saying, no, you're wrong.
Exactly.
And if you can back it up, if you can ask, say, like, no, this is what I feel, this is why I think this is different. If you can kind of do that, that opens discussion. That's good for the student and for the teacher. But when you just say, no, I don't think so, it's like, honey, you don't know shit.
I mean,
Sorry.
the woman that I dealt with, actually, she wasn't rude about it or anything, and that's one of the reasons why I really didn't have a problem redoing the reading, because I was doing it a lot, not just to help other people, but for my own exercises too. So it was, learning experience. But that kind of proved to me as a reader that no matter what deck you use, you're going to get the answer. The answer is the answer, and that's it. So that was a good experience for me.
And I think it's important for people, like, when they're doing it, like when they're doing spell work, when they're doing anything for clients, to have a really good consultation. I mean, I learned this in the hair world, but you really should have a good consultation, figure out what it is they really want. Because sometimes the questions that they ask you, it's not what they want to know. They're just testing you. You really need to get down to what they really want addressed. And then you verify it. You verify certain things, and the more you verify, the more accurate the experience will be. And so if they say they disagree with you, after you verify, like, all this stuff, it's like, no, you can disagree all you want, but these are the facts. You just verified everything. So this is right.
And they don't realize it until it comes to pass, to be honest. A lot of times, they're like, no, I've done that before. I'm like, no, that can't happen. That's not true. And then it happens. You're like, okay.
It does. Hey, you know what's funny? That actually just happened to me recently. Someone, I really don't like getting into fortunes that much, but I express myself. Whenever Spirit says something to me, I express it, whatever comes. So someone recently came to me and said, you know what, you were right. Everything you told me, everything that was expressed was correct. Like, I verified everything. It's coming true. Like, everything is spot on, and I'm so sorry. I'm like, what do you have to be sorry for?
Right.
I'm like, I trust the information that I get. I know the information that I get, and you don't have to be sorry. You're the one that took longer to find out. And it's okay. It's a life experience. It's a learning experience, and it's okay. And I verified a lot of things. So even when you do verify, people just kind of wander. They're not ready to handle that information. But it's really fun when they do come back and say, you were right.
But as the client has to be open-minded. To get back on the client relationship, as a client, you need to be open-minded. You are trusting somebody to do whatever it is they're doing. If they're reading your cards, if they're teaching you a lesson, if they're doing spell work for you, you have to, as a client, you have to trust the person that you're hiring, or even if it's your friend, that they're doing it for free. Because people don't realize that with readings, any kind of reading and spell work, the practitioner has to tap into your energy. You're giving them permission,
right,
to tap into your energy. So there are people that will just go to any reader. Like I said, people will scap up the free readings with no issue. They don't realize they're allowing the practitioner to tap into their energy. So you need to be careful as a client as well. I think that once you find a reader that works for you, you should stick with them.
That's really true because and it's you can get really sneaky because if you go to so many people and you piss off the wrong person, if that reader, that witch, that practitioner, whatever, if they have worked with you before and you've opened up to them, they can easily tap into your energy. They can easily use you.
Right.
Because that agreement was already there. So yeah, it really is. You have to do your research. You have to. Another important thing as a client is don't fucking send your personal concerns
Yes.
to people. Don't send your personal
Unless
concerns.
you are asked. If you are asked if that's what you need to do, that's okay. Don't do it on your own just because you feel like it.
And it's only okay if you absolutely trust the person, the practitioner that you're working with. It is damn ignorant for you to send your personal concerns to anyone. Like, really stupid. Especially as a client, because most of the time, most clients aren't actual practitioners, or they're not really, and I guess I am judging, but whatever. They're not really in a place where they can do it for themselves. So if you're, I'm going to use the word, if you're weak and you're sending your personal stuff to someone else, well, you just open the door for hell, especially if the other person wants to work you because you're stupid. And they should, because you should not be sending your personal stuff to people. Especially
Right,
when
so
it's... Ugh.
And if you send Michael a package, make sure your hair is not in the package.
It's okay. You can send me your hair. It's safe with me.
I think a
promise.
big thing with that too is if you hire somebody to do working for you and you do your own shit, it's going to interfere with what the practitioner is doing, and it's just a big, big no-no.
We're jumping all over the place. Just popped up. Another thing, for me personally as a client, I basically sworn off readings this year. I will not pay anyone this year for a reading because of negative experiences that I've had. Anyways, but it's really important, like White said earlier, to open up, because if you're not open, your reading's going to be shit, and it's really not the reader, because I know some really great readers, and some of them I really trust, and I've opened to them, and they read for me well. Others, I'm really apprehensive to allow people in, and they've given me really shit readings or very basic stuff. So that it really is important as a reader, as a client, to build that trust. So if you're talking with your person that you're hiring, and if you're talking to them for a while and you do your research, you ask, for references, whatever, that's fine because you're doing your homework. And it's good to find a good reader versus jumping all over the place.
Yeah, I've gotten some really crappy readings, and I've gotten some super awesome readings. Once you find that awesome person, you're probably not going to find somebody as good as they are again. It's just kind of... And I think you have to click with them almost on a personal level, too, because... And it's kind of like your friends. You just get along better. Your energy clicks better.
Yeah, because once you build that trust, once you're there already, you have that relationship. So it's like you're going back and forth, and it's like moving fluidly.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes easier. So it's like every time you go back to that person and they read for you, it becomes easier because you're not as apprehensive. But at the same time, you also still have to practice proper discernment, because you can get too trusting of someone and then just all the information not really be what you need. I guess. What other dumb shit do people...
They bug the practitioner. When somebody is doing spell work, they bug the practitioner like constantly. Did you do it yet? Is it working yet? What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that. And to enhance that, it's like when you can't... We have lives. We have a schedule. We have things that we have to do. And I know, Scarlett, like, you get bombarded a lot. And people just... They people think that we don't have other things to do. And it's not that we don't care about the work that we do. It's not that we don't care about that client. But you're not the only client. And we have families. Some of us have other jobs. There's so many other things that we have to do. So if you constantly keep coming to us, asking us questions, like just stalking us, that's not productive to the work.
No, because you don't want a pissed off witch to do your working for you.
And Scarlett has a huge ass schedule. She is a busy woman. Mm-hmm.
First of all, since half of these people don't look at my page and see the things that I pin to the top of my page for a reason, and even if it's not pinned, I share it more than once, you know, like the terms and conditions. If you order something, it's going to take a while because it's handmade. It says right there in the terms and conditions on my website to please allow 5 to 10 business days. And just because you ordered that day doesn't mean that your stuff is being made that day. It's whoever, you know, people ordered before you. So, say Michael ordered yesterday, Nimbus ordered today, Michael's stuff is going to be made before Nimbus.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's first come, first serve. I mean, it's common sense. So, just to make things clear for everybody, I am a mom of 3 kids. 2 of those kids are homeschooled, so they get my attention before anybody else does. So, when you message me and you're bugging me about if I've finished your reading, if I have done your working, or if I've made your products yet, I do not sit at my laptop all day waiting for your message to come across my screen. My kids come first. So, just so you all have an idea of what my days look like, this is my schedule. This is May. As you can see, my only open week is the last week of May. So, for today, if you talk to me today about a reading, it doesn't mean that your reading is going to be done today. Or if you put in a request for some healing work, or prosperity working, or money working, or anything like that, it doesn't mean it's going to be done today, because there's other people that contacted me prior to you, so their working already got scheduled in. So, know that you are not my only client. There's other clients that have contacted me before you, and they already have their workings or their readings or their healing work already scheduled. If you don't want to wait, that's fine. I totally respect that. But you also need to respect the fact that I have more than just you as a client. I am a mother, and I have other things on my plate besides just what you are wanting at that moment. So if you don't want to wait, like I said, that's fine. But when you hound me about if your working was done yet, or if your stuff was made yet, or if I done your reading yet, when it was clearly stated on my website when you purchased your working or your reading or your products that it can take up anywhere to 2 weeks for my workings and my readings, depending on how booked I am, and 5 to 10 business days for the products, that's your fault because you failed to read it.
Yeah.
And like what I said, do you really want to piss off the witch that's doing the work for you?
Oh shoot! Shit just got real over here.
I remember.
So, I mean, and like just twice this week, I've had people bypass my business page and hunt me down on my personal page. Don't do that. Unless we are already friends on my personal page, okay, cool, whatever. And I do a damn good job of keeping my people up to date. Look, I'm doing your reading now, or I'll be doing your reading soon, or this is when your stuff is going to be sent out, and I give tracking numbers and all that stuff.
Right.
Do not hunt me down on my personal profile because that's not going to make me happy. That's not going to make me happy at all. You hunting me down on my personal profile, talking shit to me. That is like, no, that's probably the worst mistake ever. And on top of my personal life, my children and homeschooled kids, I have students as well on top of doing healing work and other magical workings for people in readings. I have students that I take on. So don't just assume and think that you're the only person that's coming to me.
Right.
I remember that I went to Scarlet for a reading, and it was my time. I was in 9 or 10 o'clock at night, or maybe even later, because that's just whatever time I contact her. And she was like, is it okay if I do it in the morning? I said, yeah, no problem. When I get a reading, I don't expect it right away anyway. Sometimes it takes a couple days, because that's just what it is. But you told me that somebody had messaged you in the middle of the night when you were sleeping, and were pissed off that you didn't answer them.
Yes. Yes, I was sleeping. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up to, I don't even know how many missed messages I had from this person, but they left the message, and no shit, 5 minutes later, she said hello with a bunch of exclamation marks. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And so I didn't answer her, and so she's like continuing to message me and message me and message me. Well, she found my personal profile, and she's messaging me on there. And I'm like, this bitch. I mean, we are not robots. We are not up 24/7, although I swear sometimes it feels like it.
It is.
But, we have other responsibilities. I know the 3 of them, they have jobs. My job is here at home. I mean, I work out of my home, but I have 3 kids. And one of them, she goes to the doctor quite often because it's nobody's business. She has a medical condition. She has to go to the doctor often.
Right.
So I had to take care of that first. They come first. Everybody else and everything else comes second. But if you're going to message me at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning hounding me because I'm not answering you, are you kidding? That's bullshit. That's grounds for like termination of client relationship right there.
That's what I said before. Like, you need to have firm boundaries as a practitioner because people are going to try to walk all over you if they can.
Yeah,
Because they want what they want.
I think it's important. Like, I mean, why would you assume that it's going to get done immediately? At least, read the information, and if it has been within those guidelines, don't contact. If it's been afterwards, go ahead, send a message.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I put those in my terms and conditions. If it's been after the 5 to, or actually, I say 5 to 10 business days. If it's been after the 10 business days, and just in case some of you don't know, Saturday and Sunday are not a business day. If it's been after the 10 business days and you have not received anything from me, or at least a message from me saying, hey, I'm running behind, then contact me. Let me know on anything, whether it's your products, your services, your readings, whatever. But don't hound me a day later. Are you kidding me? Like, I had one person by, what was it? Shit. I forgot. But she purchased it in the evening, like 9:30 at night. She messaged me the next morning at like 7:30 in the morning. Did you send my product yet? I haven't even made it yet. You purchased it at 9:30 at night. I'm relaxing, chilling at that time, you know? So she had to fix I didn't send it yet. Well, I have to make it first. Well, what's taking so long? Well, my stuff doesn't sit on the shelf. I make it fresh. Are you kidding? You bought it on my website, right? She's all, yeah. I'm like, did you read anything about my stuff? It's fresh. It's made to order.
It's fresh.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll wait. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I can refund you your money. Oh, no, I'll wait. What the fuck?
I don't know if people get excited or just are ignorant.
I think
don't know.
both. I think mostly ignorant, but I think both. Okay, so is there anything else that anyone wants to? Oh, and y'all, I know there's people watching, so if you have any questions about anything, you can ask anything.
No,
Well,
not anything.
Mostly anything. We'll decide if it's okay or not, but you can ask. It's up here. Y'all can ask questions. We'll try and answer. But if there's anything else that you want to say about the client aspect, or we can move on to other things.
It's kind of open mic night, so you can ask whatever you want.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck wood?
So Nimbus has been very quiet tonight. I don't know. Is there anything that's been on your mind lately?
Nimbus.
Anything at all?
Anything on your mom, Nimbus?
Let's see. Concerning clients?
Anything.
Anything craft related.
Anything. There's tons of shit on it. You don't want to know everything.
Okay. Related to witchcraft.
I got something to say about clients.
Okay.
I don't like taking on of the few clients that I have taken on. The worst are my family and my friends. I hate it. I hate doing work for family and friends. At this point, I'm like, they got to be dying. I hate it so bad, and I don't know. They're assholes. They expect you to do it for free, just because your family. You'll do it for free, right? Well,
no,
you bastard. You work at Walmart. Can I go and just steal anything? Fucker,
Yeah.
like no. Like I'm not gonna. You're a dick. Don't assume that just because you have a witch in the family that it's gonna be free. If the witch says it's okay, I know you're going through a hard time. Let me help you. Then
Right. That's my thing.
That's okay.
If
That's good.
I offer, which I have, and I have done stuff for friends in the past, if I offer, I will do it for free because I've already kind of had everything in my head on how much it's going to cost me, what supplies I need, or what I would need to do. But if you come to me, you better have some cash because that's it.
right. That's understandable. Like I just offered someone a healing service. Like I do a lot of healing work. I love my healing work, and I haven't done a lot recently, and I miss it. So I have been asked by the spirits to offer this person.
Yes,
anyways,
Michael.
I was asked to offer this person healing. I'm like, okay, I'll do that, whatever. And then they're like, well, how much do you charge? And I'm like, dude, I just offered it to you. I'm not gonna come over here and say, hey, I'm offering you healing. You need to pay me. That's not okay. Like, I offered it to you. It's free. But if you came to me and asked me, that's different. That's different. And people are stupid. They should understand that. You know, like if
but I have been on the other end of that situation, and you are very nonchalant when you offer things. You're not like, hey, this is what I want to do for you. I'm gonna do it. Let's do this. You're kind of like, does anybody want to? You don't even say free. You're like, does anybody want a healing session? Like, you want to do that? That'll be fun. That's cool. And you're like, was that an offer? Are you serious? Are
From
you
Michael,
sure?
that's an offer.
And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I go, the first time you ever said that to me, I was like, is that, what was that?
Yeah.
Was that him offering that, or was he just, I don't know. So I had to clarify, and you were like, I wouldn't have offered it if I wouldn't have
Shut
said
up.
that.
If I didn't want to do it.
Oh, I'm dumb.
Is this Attack Michael night? What?
No.
Shit.
Me and Blythe like jump on that shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's what happened. Is I had wanted to ask Michael, and I didn't, because I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. And then I said something, or he said something. I'm like, yeah, I've been meaning to ask. And then Scarlett's like, yeah. And then Nimbus is like, I don't know. Like, just do it. just do it.
What don't you know? Come on. I got it. Trust me.
Go for
Oh,
it.
can I just I want to plug Michael's healing sessions. If you wanna really feel some power and you want to feel really good, go to Michael. But don't expect it free, because you're not cool like the three of us.
Watch out.
And, well,
watch out.
hold on a second. I do want to say that if I do really, really need a reading, I will pay Michael, and I have in the past. If he offers, I will take it. But I have also paid, and not quite a few times, because yes, because whatever the situation was, is, me, even though me and him have been friends for a while, even if I needed a reading tomorrow, I would pay him, because I know how much his time is worth and how good his readings are, and I would pay anybody that I need readings for. So, just because you're friends with somebody who does readings or does spell work does not mean you're going to get it for free. That kind of goes with that, Don't expect it. I mean, expect them to be like, okay, well, at least pay. You might get a discount if you're lucky, or if you pay them a certain amount of money, maybe you get like a super duper crazy reading, which is awesome. But don't expect it.
And do you guys think
At
there's
all.
power in exchange? Like, I have this theory that of all the free readings that I've ever got, the ones that I paid for were way better, like ridiculously better. And that's even from people that, like, I've paid a reading here, and I've also had a free one from this same person. Do you see what I'm saying? But the one that I paid for seemed to be so much better. So I think there's some power in exchange of service or money or something like that.
I do think that not on the mundane level, but on the spiritual level, maybe more things are satisfied when there's an actual exchange. I know a lot of people feel this. I've heard this more so in like the Spanish traditions or the African traditions, however you want to say it, is when you owe a debt if you don't pay, you owe a debt not only to the practitioner but to their spirits, and you don't want that debt. So that's another thing to consider too, is a lot of people won't do free readings because then the client owes a debt to the spirits, which is not what you want. So there's that too.
I do believe that there is power in exchange, but I think a good reader is a good reader regardless. And if they don't give you a good reading when they're doing it for free, it's because they're lazy and they're not paying attention. I mean, it just depends, but I've done free readings. I will not do free readings again unless it's asked of me. But I give my all, no matter if it is free or paid. I do what I do. And I think that should be the case for everyone, but it's not, because I've seen some people offer free readings, and I've had free readings by a person, and I'm like, what the hell is this shit? Did you just, like, automate this? Like, I could freaking go open a book and make my own reading, like, better. And then I've had a paid reading from that person. I don't even know why I paid him after that. And it was great. Like, so I know what they're capable of, and there is power in exchange, but I think it's also because it depends on the practitioner and the reader, and if they're lazy, they're lazy. And just, you should offer a free reading and give your all no matter what.
No, I agree with that. It does help when you're learning, especially when you're learning, but you have to, as the practitioner or the tarot reader, make sure that you're not being taken advantage. It's kind of that boundary thing. When I was learning, I had told one of my coworkers who became a friend, I was like, hey, listen, I'm practicing, I'm going to practice on you. well, once a week she wanted friggin' love advice from the cards, and which ended up pissing me off, pissed the cards off because they given her the same answer because she wasn't doing anything to
Oh yeah.
help her situation. And eventually I had to say no. I said, you know what? If you want another reading in like 3 months from now, that's cool, but I'm not doing them for a while. And at that point, I also decided that on YouTube I was going to offer free readings to people that I didn't even know to kind of stretch those muscles and to see what I could do. So you need boundaries, for sure.
Yeah, and okay, so this show is called The Extraordinary Lives of Deviant Witches, and a lot of things have been manifesting, have been occurring in our lives. I am completely honest, so I don't care what I share. Y'all can share whatever you feel compelled to if you feel like it. But there's a lot of things that have been going on, and I've been doing workings for uh, moving old like stagnant energy. I've been doing workings for getting my shit together and helping myself to move because I am tired of being where I currently am. And I've also been doing workings for the right people to be in my life and for true colors to be shown. And I really don't think I had to do working for that because that shit is like right now it's like boom, it's happening all over the place. And it's really fascinating because once this book that we wrote, once it was released, a lot of things came out of the woodwork. A lot of energies like started to revert. There are people who are mad, at me or probably at me, because I use the term weakness. I call people weak witches. I don't even call people weak witches. I call people. There are weak witches. There are weak people. There are weak practitioners, and I'm not saying that someone is weak. Okay, I am saying someone's weak, but that has a requirement. When you don't do the work, when you're not practicing, when you're half-assing your shit, you're a weak witch. Like that's common sense. So I don't understand why people are upset about that. I think it's a term weakness or weak. People don't like that, and they think that is I don't know, that I'm cocky, arrogant, or whatever. They think that I'm full of it because I speak that into reality because it's the fucking truth. If you have issues with that, then you really should look in the mirror and address those issues because I'm okay with what I express. I'm okay with what I say because I know that where I come from, it's a place of seeking for our community, seeking for people who are practitioners. I seek for all of us to be better, to be stronger, to have more for ourselves. And I don't really feel like any of us have to like one up anyone else because there's enough in this world, there's enough in this universe for all of us to be happy.
Right.
And it's not a competition. I ain't jealous of anyone. Like I'm not jealous of any witch. Well, unless you have like a nice ass, then maybe I'm jealous. I'll get some surgery. But no, I'm not. Like everyone is their own. Like there's no reason to be jealous. And for people who hate the term weak witch, you really should ask yourself why. And it's not because you hate me. Well, maybe it's because you hate me. But it really isn't because you hate me. It's because you hate the term, and ask yourself why you hate that term.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I think they hate the term because the shoe fits.
Right?
Seriously, if you're not weak, if you do your work, and you live your life this way, and you're a strong-willed person, and you live what you claim to live, then the term weak witch shouldn't bother you at all.
That's that's what I believe. It's like I'm not. I don't really get it. Like I don't understand the issue with the term because it's just a fact. There are people who are weak practitioners, and it's their own fault.
It is. It is their own fault.
I, yeah. Um, yeah, that just baffles me, and it's funny because I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna like talk shit about specific people. I will give you situations because I think it shows a lot when someone talks shit without actually going to a person saying I have an issue with you or this is what's going on. Let's talk about it. No, when you put it on public blast and you don't actually have the balls to say to this person's face and you just keep attacking.
Yeah.
Then doesn't the term weak witch actually fit?
Makes you look like a little child too.
I mean,
Makes you not look so ancient.
Yeah.
I just
Saying. Putting that out there.
So,
And if that term bothers you, maybe you need to work on some things. Like, why does that? If you feel that applies to you and you're being offended, I mean, that's hardly Michael's problem. It's Harley Blythe's problem. It's Harley Scarlett's problem or my problem. That's your problem, and you need to work on that.
That's work on it, just like Nimbus said. Just like anything else in your life. Like for example, if you feel that your third eye is blocked, what do? You work on it, right? To open it up more. So, if you think
I know what you do. I know what you do.
You have
you're not
to decalcify your pineal gland.
shaft, then work on it. That's just my opinion.
This is Scarlet Cauldron Psychic Awareness Ointment. And,
I have the flying ointment.
And you just do this, and you rub a little here, you little hair, and you work on it. And it's so true though. It's really true. If you have a challenge, if you have an issue with the term weak witch, then it's fine. It's fine. Don't take it out on other people. And this is like the perfect opportunity. This is a great. Ooh, what's that? Is that
That's
psychic tea?
psychic tea.
I have that too.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good for your third eye.
Right there.
If you have a problem with third eye, go to Scarlett. She can fix you right up.
She'll fix you right up. So this is like the perfect opportunity, if whoever has an issue with the term weak witch, to look in the mirror, to address, because I'm a big belief person. I feel like we have all these different beliefs that are attached to things that prevent us from being the best that we are. And all we have to do is look at these beliefs or thought patterns and face them, clear them out to pave the way for just being even more awesome.
I think people are afraid of being awesome. I don't know why.
Oh, you.
Wonderful. People are afraid of being awesome. One thing that I have noticed a lot lately, I don't know if it's going to completely change the subject, but you have people that are not sure of themselves, or maybe are the weaker witch, or maybe they're not a witch. They want to be one, or they just don't quite fit exactly. But they latch on to people that are very strong. And it's very cool to be it's good to be friends with somebody who's stronger than you. I consider actually all three of you, to be stronger witches than I am, but I also try to improve myself and to learn and to do things on my own. A lot of people will latch on to these stronger practitioners and try to get them to do everything for them, or they don't actually try to learn anything. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but you end up, when you latch on to somebody who is stronger than you, and all you do is cry and cry and cry about your situation, and you don't try to make it any better, or you don't try to learn or be better yourself, or practice more, or read, or whatever it is, you're a leech. And then they get all offended when the stronger practitioner pushes them away. If somebody was leeching off of you and leeching off of your knowledge and your energy, wouldn't you push them away too? unless they're your children, but you know what I mean. But I mean,
See,
that,
like, if you never would have said that, I don't think nobody would have known that. I
Yeah.
mean, us, yes, we know, but if you never would have said that just now, I don't think anybody watching this would have known that. Because there's a difference, huge, huge difference between those leeches. Because you, and I see it every day with you, and it's even just little shit. It is, and she asks questions all the time, or she'll say, "Oh, I did this today," or "I'm going to try this today," or "I need to work on this today." I mean, you don't. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
that's why when
I'm
people
like,
say,
oh my
"Oh,
gosh.
I've only been
Oh
I've
my
only been
gosh.
doing this for 3 years, and I'm new, and I've only been doing this for 3 years," and I'm like, "Go fuck yourself," because I
Well,
think I've been doing it for about 4. I lost track. It hasn't been very long, and I'm like,
and, and it's so true. And what Scarlett was saying, it's like I've seen this in you ever since we've met. Like you take the initiative. Like you're always doing something. You're always saying you're asking questions. You're trying to be better. You have all these ideas. You're doing things, and that's awesome. Like that sets you apart. That sets the type of people, that type of person apart from the rest. Because there are others who just want to feed off of group energy, and it's not bad or not wrong to want to surround yourself with amazing people. I mean, look what I have right here. You know, I made a
but
promise.
you can't just surround yourself with amazing people. You have to
No,
become amazing. You have to
exactly, and that's
become.
exactly that's kind of the difference. Like I made a promise to myself to I need to move forward. I need to manifest what I see in my head. I know there's some great things coming, and the only way I can do that is to surround myself with amazing, strong people who actually get shit done. And I'm doing that. And the difference is I'm actually also working for it. And when you surround yourself with a group of people, when you surround yourself with an influence of strong people, regardless if they're practitioners, readers, whatever, it doesn't matter, you have to step up to the plate. If you're staying here and all these people you surround yourself with are up here, they're going to be doing this shit, you're going to be doing this shit, you're going to start to pull them down or they're going to pull you up. The only way they can pull you up and keep you up here is if you're actually trying to go up here. If you don't try, they pull you down, and then they say, "Fuck you, motherfucker,
And I've seen
bye."
that happening a lot lately, the past couple of months. People are dropping people like flies because you become a leech. I don't know how else to put it, but if you don't put your money where your mouth is and try to make yourself better, and whatever level it is that you're at, because everybody's in different places, if you don't try to make yourself better for yourself, a lot of people will do things to look better in other people's eyes, and that doesn't do any justification to yourself at all. You have to be better for yourself. That goes with any aspect of your life, not just witchcraft. You have to do it for yourself.
And the chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So the opposite end of that is that if you're in a group of people and you see someone that is kind of weighing you down, and this goes for Facebook. I'll personally, for me with Facebook, if there's somebody on your feed that you interact with on a daily basis that is just really they're not doing anything for you, get rid of them. If they're not your friend, if they're not doing anything, it's easy, like unfriend. That's it. That's all you do. You don't have to deal with that if you don't want to. So you're the person that.
Oh, he froze.
Is Am I frozen?
You were frozen, but now you're not.
Good. Okay, so I think that you should take some responsibility for the person that you're friends with, if they're leeching off of you, and you're recognizing it, say something to them. Be like, stop coattailing. Like, if you're gonna, interact with me, work for yourself. Also, I don't have a problem doing anything for any of my friends, but it's the one that does nothing for themselves that I have the biggest problem doing something for them. You see what I'm saying?
I had a friendship with somebody for over 20 years, for about 20 years, that I ended up finally ending a couple of years ago. And it was a situation, we became friends when we were like third grade. So when you're a kid, you're like, okay, whatever. But as you grow up and you see certain things, um, friendships or not friendships, or internet or not, you have to cut out the people that are not uplifting you. And everybody goes through their own shit, and you have people that have good days and bad days, and your friend may have a whole bad year. But so that is different than somebody who's actually toxic and just does absolutely nothing for themselves and just tries to bring you down into their own bullshit. If you have people that are toxic and are causing fights in between your friends, have it be online or offline or whatever the case may be, is you really need to take a step back and get rid of them.
And what I have to add here is, a lot of people think that if you just get rid of that person, or if you just say, you know what, it's time, that you're running away, that you're not an actual friend, that you were never a friend. People blame you and think that you're the bad guy because you're releasing them, like you never gave them a chance and you left them in their time of need, and that's not true. When there is a toxic relationship, it's not true. You have it. Sometimes it's better if you are not part of that relationship, for you as well as for the other person.
Right.
And the other person who's still in that toxic energy, they're gonna blame you. They're gonna be hurt. They're gonna hate you. They're gonna try and talk shit about you. They'll do whatever they can because they're still in that toxic experience.
Right. And now that you're gone, they don't have somebody to blame their shit on or to dump their shit on.
Right.
You're gone.
And people, and we just need to realize that it's not that you're leaving people behind. You've tried, you've done your work, and if they're not willing to meet you in the center, you can't be a part of that.
And I think it's important to recognize what friendship is, because I think that people, it's hard to formulate words. I think people do not understand what friendship really is. Sometimes they think that just because they've known someone for a while, that's friendship. Just because knowing someone and being acquainted with someone is not friendship. And just because you've known that person for a while doesn't mean that you are responsible for them or have some odd obligation for them. You have to recognize when someone's not being a friend. And when that happens, and this happened to me really recently, actually, because you have this version of them in your head that's not exactly who they are. Because when push comes to shove and you actually need that quote unquote friend, they're not there. And then you start to realize that truly and really they have not just not been there, they have been toxic. And they have caused you to feel things, caused you to feel bad for them for no fucking reason.
Right.
Mm.
You're doing so well.
There he goes.
Did I freeze again? Shit.
Yeah, go. Keep going.
You're fine. You're back.
Keep
I'm
going.
back. Okay. Scarlett, actually, I'm gonna bring you up in this because you told me something months and months ago about someone that I knew, that I was friends with, and I don't know what it was. You were like, no, that person's not your friend. Like that's not. Stop. Like you gotta stop with that. And I was like, no, we're friends. Like we're friends. Like I consider that person a friend. And then I think Scarlett's word was, well, that's fine, but I'll punch that person in the fucking face. So, like, and, like,
That's a true
this
friend.
is
The one
like,
that'll punch the other one in
I
his
wish
face.
this was a joke, but it's not a joke. This really happened. This is true. That was a true statement from Scarlett. So when Scarlett tells you something that you don't necessarily want to hear, she does not hold her tongue. She'll just show you exactly how she feels. Um, and that right there, that is a recognizable factor in true friendship. If someone's not afraid to hold their tongue when it comes to you.
Right.
Also, when someone recognizes, and how it pertains to witchcraft, because I feel like we're veering off.
Well,
Life
kind
is
of, sort
life
of,
is
but-
craft sometimes. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as it pertains to witchcraft, when a witch knows something about someone, and when I say no, it's not an opinion. Sometimes it's not. It's they know what they're talking about. Because they're a fucking witch, and maybe you should take time that, though it may not be something that you want to hear, you should take time to reflect on that, and maybe save yourself some learning. Because then what happens is you open yourself up to vulnerability because you think that person is really a friend, and then when it comes down to it, they shit in your face, and then you feel bad because you could have just, avoided the problem altogether by listening to one of your real friends and just saving yourself the hassle. Not that that's really my style, because normally I'm a fucking masochist. But yeah.
you was
So that's what I'm
kind
saying. Recognize friends and recognize when to listen to your friends. Your real friends.
and this, okay, so I know it doesn't seem like this has anything to do with witchcraft, but it really does, because when you're a witch, this is life. This is your life. You're living it. So all of this has to do with witchcraft, because the more people that you surround yourself with that aren't really, like, they're not really supporting you, and they're not really assisting you to go where you need to go, or just being uplifting, or they're not there for you. The more people you have like that in your life as a witch, because as a witch, I really feel like it changes, like it's even more potent, because their energy, you feel their energy. So their energy is taking its toll on you. So the more people that you surround yourself with, you have to be careful as to their true intentions.
Know your
Because-
circle. No matter what your circle is, know it.
Yeah, because they will take you down, and it could be their energy, anything. And just a personal example. Recently, this past week or so, I have been going through something really, really challenging. Like I hurt. I've had like really, I don't know. I've been going through a really intense situation, and my circle, the people that I surround myself with, they pick up on it. They can feel it, and I feel horrible about that. But these are the people that I choose to be with. I choose to surround myself with, and I can't help that. But I don't know why, because they're fucking crazy. They choose to keep me around, and they took that on them as well, and they were able to at least uplift a part of that. They were able to say that, hey, I'm here for you if you need something, even though I really didn't express much of what was going on, or really didn't say anything. They knew. And that's kind of that, and that's witchcraft. Like that's the people that you surround yourself with. If they were like, oh gosh, this fucking dude is depressing. I hate him. I don't like how I feel. I don't want to be there. He needs to just get over it. Blah blah blah. That's taking you down. I'm taking them down, and then that energy is taking me down, because we're not here to help each other. We're not here supporting each other. We're here being toxic together with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
see, I
that's
feel like that happens in our little circle here. Like, how Michael came down like that and how he felt. We didn't let him go down alone. And he didn't stay there alone. And he didn't bring us, even though we felt him and felt what he was feeling and going through, he didn't stay down there alone, and we didn't stay down there with him.
no.
So he went down there, but the three of us were pulling or grabbing onto him and trying to bring him back up, even though we were still feeling what he was feeling, but we weren't going to let him be down there by himself. We were bringing him back up. There was no way we were going to let him go down by himself.
And that's so, like, that's important because, like, knowing, like, even me knowing that that's, like, what my circle, like, what they feel, I was like, okay, I can't have that. Like, I need to honor what I'm feeling, but I can't have my energy affect them like this. I was like, boom, boom.
At the
Hey.
same time, though, when you're going through something like that, like I've recently, been going through like my own shit. Like you also have to trust the people that you're with your emotional vulnerability. Put it that way. So you have, and I know, I can talk about that, but you can't. You have to trust the people that you're talking with your emotional vulnerability.
Vulnerability.
Even if they are not emotionally vulnerable themselves. I'm a very extremely. I had too much wine. I'm sorry.
She's extremely.
I am an extremely emotional person, and Michael is not. But even though I go through my emotional shit, he's still there and he still understands. And he kind of brings me out of it, but not in an insensitive way. I've never ever been insensitive about it, but he'll bring me out of it like in his own way. So, and in that way, that works out too, and it works out with you guys too. But he's a little less emotional.
I think it's because I'm Mexican, but
you're very logical.
I have a different opinion.
I'm super emotional, but in a different way. Like I don't like expressing that. Like when I express my emotions, like when I express anything like that, I feel vulnerable, and I don't like to be vulnerable. I don't like feeling like I don't have power or control, and I don't care that y'all know that because it just is what it is. But I can be, and Mr. River, apparently Pisces over there, has a different opinion.
I do. I have a different opinion because Blythe is clearly the more emotional, but she's a water sign, so it's totally fine for water signs to be emotional. But okay, I don't know how to word it. It's weird because psychically, Blythe is harder to pick up on than Michael is when it comes to emotional distress. Like I can wake up and if Michael is, and it's trying to explain this to the outside audience is the weirdest fucking thing you've ever fucking tried to explain because you really just have to feel it. But oh god, I don't even know how to put it.
I wonder if it's because I'm more open with certain aspects.
Well, you are so your emotions are more obvious, I guess. Because you're not. I don't know. You don't really. I don't know what the word for that is. I don't know. But when it comes to
man.
When it comes to Michael, it's like I guess we're so used to feeling. Michael's all the time like weirdly peppy, like. I don't know, emotional therapy, because it's like he focuses on this, and, he's an Aquarian, so you kind of have to,
Oh, okay. Did he freeze?
Mm-hmm.
give him a break for that, and it would be incredibly emotional, and you're like, fuck. What is it? Like, and you want to give him a hug, but then you realize you're in North Carolina and he's in California and you can't. And like, it's this weird thing. And then Michael's all funky over his vulnerability. So you're like, do I mention it to him because I know that he knows that you know, but do we mention it? And then you end up doing it because you can't help it. Blythe is different. Blythe is more like she's gonna come to you and tell you, and you're gonna feel it. Well,
you're gonna feel my emotions, bitch. You're gonna feel me.
I don't like that. I have a coworker who doesn't. We were really. I don't say really close. We were fairly close as coworkers, and he told me he was an empath and that I project. and I would try very hard to shield around him, and even now, me and him don't talk anymore. We haven't talked in years, actually. Because he's an empath who won't do anything about it. He just stays, like, he makes himself into a hermit. I've tried to help him, and he wouldn't let me help him, so whatever. I try not to project. I think for me, it's I'll let certain feelings surface, and then a lot of the other stuff I keep hidden. It's the cancer thing.
For me.
It's the cancer thing. It's the hard shell, and and it's self-defense mechanism, and it's been something I've been dealing with forever.
I'm freaking emotional, like a Pisces. I don't like that.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
You're not.
You know, it's funny. But what you say is absolutely true because I can feel it. Like I know the difference between how like everyone's emotions are, and I'm like freaking. I don't like it. It's because I'm very expressive. Like I'm very artistic, and so like when I express like those emotions come out, I interpret them like that. I'm like, oh my god, like an emo. Fuck. Shoot me now.
Sometimes when I'm going through a lot of stuff in my head and I'm not expressing it out loud to anybody, I think I'm like, I really hope that these guys are not feeling this right now because this is like really bad. This is not a place I want to be in right now, but I'm like, I really hope they can't. And nobody said to me, so part of me is like, well, maybe they're not feeling it. That's cool. And a part of me is like, well, maybe they're just not saying anything.
Yeah, we're just not saying anything.
Well, okay, and so, emotions. This shit's. No emotions.
But we're all super. We can feel when each other's happy too. It's not like we just get the bad.
This is what happens.
We're like, we feel each other's happy.
This is
not
what
like
happens.
Nasty happy. I hope I don't anyway.
Now you're gonna think about it.
It's nasty.
You're gonna think about it. Like, oh my god. Well, Beltane, let me tell you.
Beltane. You didn't have to feel
you.
anything because everything was being expressed verbally, so there was no hidden anything for Beltane.
And you automatically assume that someone's talking about sex. So Michael goes.
Well,
I will never forget. Michael's like, "Hey, are you something about are y'all busy?" And then I was like, "No, not right now. She's at work, but we got busy earlier." And I automatically assumed that you were talking about sex, but you weren't, and then I felt really stupid.
We don't care.
And it's Michael.
No. Yeah, because Michael is always talking about sex, apparently.
to bring it back,
you're the love guru, dude. You're the love worker of the four of us.
To bring it back for a second, though, when you work closely with people, when you interact with them every day, you become psychically linked. So you need to know who you're friends with, who you're working with before you work with them. You need to be able to trust them, because the more you trust them, the more psychically linked you become, which is why the four of us feel each other's bullshit and the happy shit. It's just how it happens, and you have to be willing. You have to be prepared for it, because it's what's going to happen, and that's when you find people that you connect with. I do think that as witches, we are drawn to each other, and we are meant to work together, but not necessarily in a large scale, like the standard coven of 13. To me, that's too many people. Personally, it's too many people. I do not think that witches are meant to be solitary. I do think that they are meant to work with other witches. But you have to know who you're working with, and it's hard to determine that.
Yes, and you and I know personally. Like I can't speak for anyone else, but I know that. How many times can I say this? You and I have experience working with other people. And it was great for what it was, but now when you find where you're supposed to be, it just clicks and it feels like home. And that's kind of like where I feel right now. Like I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. I feel like I'm home. Like I can 100% trust the people that I'm with. My circle, I trust. I cannot say that I 100% trusted anything previously. Not saying that I didn't trust the situation, but I can say now, comparing the two, I 100% trust where I am right now. And it makes a huge difference because, like you said, the more that you work with each other, the more that you just talk and you just share and you grow, and the more that we what? Sorry, someone just said something. The more that we do stuff and we plan and we just we're there, the more we grow spiritually, emotionally, physically. It's just you're growing and you connect more. And then like when you're doing shit and you feel someone like, oh, that's not me, that's some dude in North Carolina, or that's not me, that's some chick over there, or that's not me, that's some chick over there. It's like, okay, you know that there's something going on, and you know that you know to do something to say, hey, are you okay? Hey, what's going on? Hey, what do we do?
Right, but these situations from prior or previous were meant to happen when they were meant to happen with the people that they were meant to happen with, and it also is a way to kind of give you a taste of what is supposed to happen in the future, if that makes any sense. So if you are somebody who is hanging out with a couple of witches and take the situation for what it is, and you have a falling out for whatever reason, take that as a learning experience. That was not time wasted. Don't regret it. That was what you were supposed to do. And you kind of learn, and it helps you grow. And then when you do find your group of friends, witches or non-witches, whatever your situation is, you will be a better person for it, and you will know what to look for. And you will not have these leeches. You will not have these toxic people. You'll be able to weed them out a lot sooner than you were beforehand. The situation was meant to happen, and it happened, and it was good that it happened because it built also a level of trust for the future, if that makes any sense. Like Nimbus and I worked on different projects before this, which helped me and him get to know each other, and helped, him and Michael and everybody. It just kind of all, and same I think with Michael and Scarlett worked together too before the four of us got together. So it's just kind of how we all just kind of, got together. It happens. I talk with my hands. I can't help it.
That's okay.
The Italian.
It is. It's a New York thing too.
New York thing.
New York.
But even if you're in a crappy situation, so the short version, even if you're in a crappy situation at the time, it's meant to happen, and it's supposed to happen, and you're supposed to grow from it.
And people think that witchcraft is just simply casting spells, doing your if you do devotions, if you do prayers, if you do readings, whatever. They think that that's witchcraft, and it is. It's an aspect, but what we're talking about today, this is witchcraft. This is our life. This is real shit right here. This is just who we are, and I think that people who are watching, people who are present now, like, they should understand that when you're a witch, this is how it goes. It's all mundane, but it's also enhanced with the spiritual. Everything. And I don't know how else to say it, but that's just the truth. It's like we are practitioners, and everything we do is filtered through that. Miss Scarlett, you're so quiet over there.
Sorry. Keep hearing doors. I'm like afraid this door's gonna come flying open.
I keep hearing like cars drive by, and I'm like, do y'all have cars driving by over there?
I don't
I'm
hear
in
any
the country,
cars.
so no.
Okay, because I keep hearing like, and no, that's weird. I'm hearing shit.
Oh, I don't hear any cars.
Ignore the voices. Ignore the calls.
No, I don't ignore the voices. I allow the voices to speak directly to me, and then I release it and express it to the people who need to hear.
Yeah, when I don't hear the voices, I start to panic.
Right? It's like, wait a minute. There's nothing there.
Usually are the voices in my head, so you can't shut up.
That goes for, I guess, friendships that are just stagnant, too. It's just stagnant energy.
Yeah.
I've had that. And, I mean, Not that it was like total hatred or anything, but just like that, it's just like, stagnant energy just sitting there. It does, it's just
I don't like stagnant energy. It's like stagnant
wish them
water.
well and
Ooh.
be on your way, and
Right, and people get
hold
offended.
the
Like,
energy and move forward.
I always laugh during these little Facebook purges that people like announce, like, oh, I'm doing your Facebook purge, and who
I'll send you back
cares?
at mine then.
Just,
Sayonara, bitches.
I'm like, just do it. When I delete people, I don't talk about it. This is a personal thing, I guess, because I've watched people. Okay, so you're saying, okay, I'm going to do a Facebook purge. And then all of a sudden you have like 100 comments, and there's people that you've never talked to before that say, oh, can you keep me on? And it's like,
Those are the first people to go, though.
and
Yeah.
they're like, oh,
Yeah.
I made it, I'm safe. It's like, it just makes everybody all paranoid, and I just think it's kind of silly. It's just not something that I personally do. But I really don't. I don't delete people. I like to keep tabs on people. I don't really delete anybody. If I don't want to hear from them, I'll take them off my news feed, which kind of helps me personally. But
I delete motherfuckers. I ain't got no time for that shit. No, I think it's really. What? Oh, sorry. It, it's really important for people to just be around, and it's not just about being positive. It's just being around people who care. Like, we're not 100% positive all the time, we express everything. We're human beings, I guess. I mean, I think we're superhuman, but we experience a spectrum of emotions, but it's okay because we don't stay in any one place. But when you're around people who choose to be in one spot, who choose to maybe hate on one type of person or one gender or one anything else, it really is, and you're the person that they're hating on, or you're the type they're hating on. It is not productive for the practitioner or anyone to remain in that situation. So you really do need to be more cautious of the people you allow in your page, on your profile, in your friends, your local friends. Some people are just
oh my God, the local people. I
the locals, dear, the locals.
Oh my God, there's a local coven group, whatever. There's a coven, and then just solitary people come with this, whatever, local witches. And there's such drama lately, and that I'm being dragged. No, I'm not even being dragged into. I'm just like seeing it, and I'm just like, I can't. I can't fucking deal with it. Like, now I know why I never felt connected to any of these people, why I was never drawn to any of these people. I feel more connected to you three who live on different parts of the country than I do people that live 20 minutes away from me, because they're just not the same wavelengths.
Right.
It
I
always
just
seems
get
to happen
disappointed
that way.
with local
Oh,
witches.
shoot.
What?
I
think it's hard. It's hard when you get in this group. That I go to their public rituals. It's mostly women. When you get any large group of women together, it's not usually a good thing. I'll just leave it at
Oh,
Sexism.
No, well,
honey.
Honey child.
Honey child.
Gotta watch out for them women.
No. We're not going there. People be hating on us.
Hey, okay, well, I'm just saying, there's male haters out there. There's a lot of them.
Well, I know some male haters.
A lot of male haters. Everyone hates on the penis. I don't know why.
I know, I don't know why. It's so beautiful.
I don't know why.
Tear shed, tear shed. Okay, I don't want y'all to leave, but is there anything else that we want to express tonight? I honestly feel like there was something else I was going to say, but I really can't think of. I can't even keep a straight face with Mr. freaking Wino over there.
I'm sorry, I'm starting to get, but yeah, there is something I want to say. Duh. Do I have the floor? Is that why
Yes,
you're pausing?
Spit it out.
Are you going to make me cry?
Am I gonna make you cry?
I don't know.
No, I'm not gonna make you cry.
Well, hurry up and say it. I mean,
He's gonna
okay.
make me cry.
I think that a lot of people think that Deviant Witchery, which is, in my opinion, it's always been its battle, is full of just nothing but this bad, negative shit. All we do all day long is cast a fucking malediction, and we, bind people to themselves, drive them insane, and we just like fucking with people's lives, and we just live in this weird dark place where no one but us is welcome, and we sit there and we stagnate in our own nasty, filthy, disgusting mal energy. And if you think you're a fucking idiot, period. And that is not me. That is not me not embracing my light side, and that's not me ignoring my dark side, because I am me. There is no dark. There is no light. There's Nimbus. That's it.
Are you doing your shadow work?
It's just that. Fuck you. I hate shadow work. That was my second point. That was my second point. I fucking hate the term shadow work. It doesn't have anything to do with nothing. It has nothing to do with witchcraft. It doesn't mean that it's not healthy for the average person to do this, quote unquote, shadow work. But if you are not dealing with who you are as a fucking person on a daily goddamn basis, you have problems. You don't have to set aside a special time of the day to reflect on yourself and how you're a shithole to the entire universe. Because if you do, you have problems. And I'm sorry, this is not me going at you and saying that I'm better than you. This is me looking at you and saying that my goddamn pendulum swings from the left to the right to the front to the back all fucking over, and fuck you for saying that it doesn't. Period. Fuck you. You have no idea who I am as a person. Do not ever judge me unless you are my wife, my family members, Scarlett Ortiz, Blythe, I know her last name, but
Gimli,
or Michael Blackthorn. I don't know how public Blythe is with her last name. Anyway, or Michael Blackthorn, which is not really his last name, and if you think that, you're dumb. And anyway, if you're not those three people, or my family, or my friends that I interact with on a daily basis, fuck you for thinking that you know who the fuck I am.
Right.
Just fuck you. That's
another thing too.
Nimbus, I want you to dig deep and tell me why you were feeling
How what?
Hey Nimbus, is your soul an asshole?
My soul is an asshole. I'm okay with that.
Well, can we hold on a minute, please. Can we just take a time to ground and center? All right. And then can we look in the mirror? Can we look in the mirror? And can you please tell me, from a deep-rooted level, can you tell me exactly how you are feeling? Please. What does your shadow say?
I do want to say that the people that claim to do shadow work or whatever it is, it's not an excuse to be an asshole to other people. Okay, there are people that, especially around Samhain this day or wintertime or whatever the case is, I'm saying something serious here, that they're deep into their shadow work and they're an asshole to people and they're using that as an excuse. Your shadow work is not an excuse. You're just an asshole, and you just happen to show it at certain times when you need to.
Is he like going really? Can you? Okay, so from that deep point, tell me What does your shadow self say?
My shadows still want to choke all of them. And
Okay.
there's nothing I can do about it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So
I dug deep.
you did dig deep. I saw that. It was like scaring me because you went so deep. I thought you were like.
Yeah, his eyes were rolling in the back of his head.
I made an attempt. Which was what was expected of me.
Okay, so I really, yeah, and a lot. Okay, and you're right,
But
Blake.
yes,
You're absolutely
Blake, you're right.
Because all right.
It's happened to me where this person was a total douchebag and they're like, oh well, I'm doing shadow work. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. You're an asshole. Stop it.
It doesn't matter how rosy your cheeks are or how fat you are. You're not fucking Santa Claus. You can't use that excuse.
Oh shoot.
Fuck you.
Uh-huh. Right. Oh right. No. Okay. So, anyways, let's just like round.
I really feel better. I've been waiting like 2 or 3 weeks to say that because we haven't had the right time, but I feel better now.
I'm glad that you feel better.
We need a good rant session.
I'm so glad that you were able to express that, and people are going to be able to see that, and you just feel better. That's just like that's exactly what we want. But
can I say something? I need it. I'm sorry. I just need to say something else.
All right.
Okay. I did sit at the cool people table in high school. I did.
I didn't.
I will FedEx my fucking annual yearbook to your ass so you can see how many pictures the yearbook took of me, okay? I was involved in fucking everything. I was on fucking every committee. I was on student council. I ran track. I threw discus. What else do you fucking want from me? I hung out with everybody. Yes, I sat with the cool kids at school. Mind you, there was only 100 fucking people in my graduating class, so there's not a lot of competition there.
That's why.
Regardless,
I want to see your yearbook.
Well, when you move here, I'll show it to you.
No, I think I should.
Oh.
But yeah.
Oh, and I do wear suits every day to work, and you can dress a dick up in a suit and make it look nicer.
Oh yes.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yes. Sure
Okay. So.
Take the weird ass gray night sky and shove it up your ass.
Damn. Say it loud and say it proud, my friend. Say it loud and say it proud. Okay, so now that I can speak because Mr. freaking Ginge over here. Oh shit. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I really do think that people use it as an excuse, shadow work, to call themselves assholes. Like, oh, and I have had that experience, and it's like, oh, I'm tired of being a total dick to you because I'm just going through my shadow moment. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not doing this. I'm a fucking asshole constantly. I don't change. Like, you're going to be a shadow, so you're going to be an asshole now, and then you're going to schedule that again when you feel like being an asshole, like, 2 months from now.
Right.
And then, no, I'm legit. Like, I'm real. Like, I'm going to be saying I'm an asshole 24/7.
Well, I mean, I'll be like, listen, I'm in a bad mood because of something personal or because of PMS or whatever the case is. I have no problem admitting to when I'm in a bad mood, but I've never used an excuse. To me, shadow work is an excuse.
And you know, for people who believe in it, like believe in that term and need to use that term, I'm okay with that as long as they're using it correctly, not using it as an excuse to be a total cunt.
Or do it once a year.
Or do it once a year, you know. But and honestly, like Nibba said, is like when you're a witch, you deal with this stuff 24/7. You deal with all of these emotions all the time. So it's not like something you reserve for a certain time. But everyone's different. You know, everyone has to, I guess, experience it differently. But again, from my perception, from my experience, when you are a practitioner of witchcraft, This is just something you deal with on a daily basis, and it's not something that you shy away from. It's not something that you have to save for a time when you feel like being a total douchebag to other people. It's just normal, and we look at each other and we look at ourselves and we're like, okay, I'm feeling this way. I don't feel well. I'm dealing with this, or I'm going to deal with this. I gotta talk to someone. We deal with this shit on a constant basis. This is fucking life. So when you reserve a special moment for that, like you have to take a break so you can face your shadow self. And I'm not trying to belittle you. I'm not trying to talk down to that experience, because it's probably like very legit for you, very real for you. But when you're coming across as exactly what you're talking against, it makes you look foolish. It really does. And that speaks for itself. I think everyone is on their own journey, everyone's on their own path, but when we're talking witchcraft, it's my game. You know, when we're talking witchcraft, that's our field.
You know what else makes you look foolish? Is when you do a video saying don't judge people, and then you do a video the same week and you judge people.
But that's processing.
That's a fucking hypocrite.
Honey child, that's processing shadow work. That's processing.
Oh man,
No,
what was that?
and I agree. It's like, you know, and everyone has to go through whatever they have to go through, and I totally agree with that. But just be honest. And when you're wrong, you're wrong. When you're right, you're right. When you are acting like a dumbass, you're acting like a dumbass, and honor that. Don't try and cover your tracks. Just be honest. And I have more respect for a person who's honest and says, you know what, I made a mistake, than someone who keeps trying to like cover their tracks. And y'all, this again, this is the craft, because this is life. This is our life. This is many people's lives, because I have people coming to me who ask me about situations like this, who bring up situations like this, and it's important for us. I think it really is important for us to talk about this shit, because other people don't understand that it's normal. They kind of just like keep it to themselves, and I'm like that, I'm gonna be talking. Like, I can talk, and I don't care. Like, people will listen to this, and it might be a lot of gibberish, but the people who need it will understand it. It's just life. It's just what we do.
And it's okay not to know who you are at this moment. Like, that's okay. That's totally fine. To not know exactly where you are. So you have not found your tribe yet. That's totally cool. I have, and I'm fortunate, but it took me, 20 plus years to do that.
Because he's so old.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
I said, honey child, it's because you're so old.
I understand that, but I have never really felt up until last year. I never really felt like I totally belonged somewhere, and it was okay. It's not like I was adamantly searching for you three. It just, it just happened.
It falls into your lap.
It does. And, it's okay not to know who you are. It's okay not to know exactly where you belong in your spiritual path. When you're talking about spirituality, that's something that fluctuates. It's constant. It's not something that stays the same all the time. It's constant fluctuation and constant change. What you feel today may be completely different 10 years from now or tomorrow. And that's totally okay. But that is not witchcraft. You can't change witchcraft. It is what it is. Right. It is not something that can be changed to bend to your personal views. If you are bending something to your personal views, then that is not witchcraft. You can't just say, well, my witchcraft. There is no your witchcraft, first of all. There is witchcraft. That's it. You practice witchcraft. You do not practice your own version of witchcraft. Because when you do that, when you take something and you make it your own, it becomes something like a religion, and it becomes something that it's okay for you, but it's not okay for the next one. And you're wrong and I'm right, and that's what causes wars, and that's what causes judgment, and that's what causes people to hate other people for no fucking reason. So what is what it is. That's what it is. Just stop trying to change it. Stop trying to formulate something that it's not. Because you're going to piss me off if I ask you a question and I'm trying to adamantly debate with you, and then you fuck with what I feel and believe and practice, and you try to tell me what it is. That's going to piss me off. It's not. You're not going to get a positive reaction from me. I'm sorry, because you're taking what I hold to be true and what I hold dear in my life, and that is my life. People don't understand that. This is us. This is what we do every day. So if I get heated about it and I get upset about it, it's because you are trying to tell me something that I live, and that is not okay. Granted, if you are just a spiritual person, that is fucking great for you. If you are just in between religions, or you're trying to just figure out what the fuck you believe in, that is wonderful. That is awesome. And I support you wholeheartedly. But don't call that witchcraft. Just don't do it. Stop calling shadow work a part of the craft. It's never been a part of the craft. Stop assuming that, you know, this weird version of we're only going to practice the white art of witchcraft. There is no white art of witchcraft.
No.
The most powerful witches on Earth most likely did a lot of healing, but could kick your ass if they needed to.
Right.
That is who they are. So for you to just cling to one version of whatever the fuck you believe in, again, that's not witchcraft. Pick up a fucking book. Pick up a fucking book. It's not like...
Pick up the Deviant Grimoire.
Yeah.
Go look at the Deviant Grimoire, written by two of the most amazing people that you're seeing on screen right now.
Hey!
But you are not... I mean, history books, people like fucking experienced, talk to witches. Don't, you know, don't talk to the ancient witch of the Neverland of Facebook
Narnia.
world, okay? He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, okay? He doesn't. Because just because you're 20-something and you lately are hating on Americans, whatever the fuck that is, I don't know, but that's your shit. Just because of that person looks nice to you doesn't mean that he's informed. And the people that are sometimes the least attractive, little old Miss Betsy down the street, that's wears fucking weird clothes and, you know, walks at midnight and, you know, sometimes you see her naked out in the backyard eating tomatoes. She may be the most fucking informed witch that you've ever met. Okay? I'm just saying. So don't fucking... I'm just saying. I don't know where the fuck... What was I saying? What was I saying there? I don't fucking know. But I'm just saying, like, don't bastardize something that I believe in and call it witchcraft when it's not what it is. Just and
something
don't
that
I tell you it's not witchcraft.
Right, something that
it's not witchcraft.
All right.
Right.
I had expressed recently on my Facebook page is that you know, basically don't put your, I can't remember exactly what I wrote, but don't put yourself into boxes. Don't label yourself, because once you label yourself, you're kind of stuck with it almost. Like, don't claim to be something that you're not. Because you want to be something doesn't mean that you are. You're not. I may want to be. I don't fucking know. I may want to be a doctor. But, or I want to be a ballerina. I wanted to be a ballerina when I was like 5.
I know.
But I may want to be a doctor, but I'm not a doctor, and I can't claim to be a doctor until I am, until I put the work into it, until I go to school, until I do this, until I do that. That's the same thing with witchcraft. I do feel that witchcraft, being a witch, is something that you're born with, and there's a lot of people that are born with it, but they have to do work to be it, or maybe they're not born with it and they think that they are, but they just weren't, and they're labeling themselves and putting themselves in this box, and then they don't know shit, and then they get pissed off when somebody says, you don't know shit. It's because
they don't.
Because they don't. Which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just don't claim to be something that you're not. You're being a hypocrite.
Right. I think
there's not different levels. It's like being pregnant or not being pregnant. You are, you're not. You're witchy, you're not. There's not different levels.
You're either knocked up or you're not.
Or you're not. That's it.
One line or two lines.
My opinion.
And I think that is like the huge. I think a lot of people misunderstand where we're coming from, because we have specific beliefs, but we don't have anything. We really don't believe anything that a lot of the other people don't, believe. We share common beliefs. It's just we're very vocal about it and we say it direct. We're not, pussyfooting around. We are not sugarcoating shit.
There's a lot of people that believe the same fucking thing that we believe, but they don't express it because they get bombarded with this crap from the people that we're getting bombarded with crap from. And they just have decided, for whatever reason, that they do not want to deal with it anymore, which is their decision. They don't want to deal with it anymore, and they're going to go and do their own thing, and that's awesome. We're not going to do that. So, yeah, we are not the only people that believe that what we believe. There's a lot of other people that do.
Right. And
that's it.
I think as well, like, people should understand, like, we're not doing this. We're not, if you're not a witch, that's fine. There are so many other magical, metaphysical practices that you might adhere to. Just because you're not a witch does not mean that you're not magical. It might mean that you're something else. So go find yourself. Don't try and claim something that you're not. And it's okay if you're not. And we're not judging you for not being what, you might not be. We're just saying, honor who you are, find yourself, and embrace that. Don't try and fit in somewhere where you really, deep down that you don't fit in. And a lot of people think we're assholes, and we're not. I mean, okay, we are assholes, but this all was started because we care. There is so many people who don't care. There are so many people who just want to make money off of you, who just want to, who want to just get you to follow them, and that's not what we're about. We want you to expand yourself. We want actual practitioners. We want witches to become themselves. We want people of power to fulfill that. We want people to become strong. We're here to support that. We're here to uplift that. And I think so many people, they think we're here to take that down, take other people down, and we're not trying to take away from anyone, because we don't have to. We don't have to. We're here to explain to the people who know, the people who need us, exactly what we are explaining to them, and they need it so they can become more for themselves.
Right. If you hate us, you're not the ones that we're talking to.
And really, if you hate us, you don't really understand us.
If you hate us, we don't give a shit. All right.
No, we don't.
We really don't.
So I honestly think that's a good spot to kind of close this. I want you all to stay on after this, but before we do close it, is there anything else that any of you would like to say? Like any words of encouragement? Any hey, hi? Anything.
Join us next week. Join us next week when Michael and I are going to be here and talk about the book, and you are able to ask whatever questions you have about the book or anything that's discussed in the book.
Yeah. And Nimbus and Scarlet, y'all are invited to our little experience next week.
Our hoedown.
Our hoedown. We need like hay barrels. We do. Like hay barrels.
Who calls it a hoedown?
It was the way he was talking. It came out.
Shindig. We need a shindig. Okay, anyway. A hootenanny. Is there anything else y'all would like to say before we say ciao ciao?
No.
Okay, motherfuckers, it's time to good night. Y'all stay on, and we will say check out. Talk to you next week. I hope you enjoyed our rambles.
Peace out.